Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be having an honest chat with you guys about what it has been like putting my life out there on social media for about the past 2 years. I think that this is one of the top questions that I get asked. What are the pros? What are the cons? What are the things I love about it? What are the really tough parts? And I figured it would be a great opportunity to sit down and honestly just have a chat with you guys about it. I think so many people want to start to put content and some of their life out on social media, but they have no idea where to start. They're not sure if it's even the right idea for them. So I figured we would dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a content creator on social media right now. So without further ado, let's dive into this video. I made a little pro-con chart. So I figured I would go through all of the cons first, and then I would go through some of the pros. So con number one is you are faced with constant judgment and negativity. Honestly, I feel like this has been the toughest part about putting your life out there on social media. You feel like everything you do gets criticized. If you maybe look a little skinny one day, people will be like, oh my God, do you have an eating disorder? If you maybe look a little bloated or fluffy that day, people will accuse you of being pregnant and this, that, and the other thing. And so I feel like you are constantly being judged. You constantly have people's opinions on you at all times. People will say that your workouts aren't good, that your form isn't good, and they just pick apart every little thing about you. There can be something that you have never questioned, you have never second guessed about yourself, and then someone points that out and it makes you start to second guess yourself. It makes you start to wonder, is that person telling the truth? Is that something that I should maybe be a bit ashamed about myself? I don't know. So it just really makes you start to question everything. Everything you do is kind of put on blast for the public. People are picking apart little things about you, some things that you knew before, some things that maybe you never even realized were a problem. On number two is I feel like I can never relax. This is maybe a personal issue more than anything else, but I feel like for me, if I'm doing something, I feel like I should be creating content at the same time. If I'm laying around on the couch, if I am at my parents' house, at a friend's house, and I haven't posted that day, I feel the pressure to put something out there that is valuable onto social media. I feel like when I'm away on vacation, I should be taking pictures, I should be doing X, Y, and Z, and that's a personal thing, but it's definitely something that can be taxing as a content creator, that I want to continually put good quality content out there for you guys. And sometimes that can be very, very difficult if, depending on the day, I just may not feel like posting, or if I'm not in a bright and cheery mood. A lot of times I don't want to put myself out there on social media, because while I do like sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly of my life, sometimes I just don't want to talk about it on social media at that moment. And so sometimes I feel like I can never relax, because you never really know when to work and put your life out there on social media, and when you can relax and just enjoy the moment and all of that. So that's something that I struggle with. And going along with that, I feel just pressure on myself to post every single day. I feel like if there's a day where I don't know what to post, I'm scrambling, or I just throw something up there that maybe I don't feel super confident in, and I hate doing that. I just don't really enjoy it. But for me personally, I want to put content out there every single day that is valuable, that kind of matches my vibe, my brand. And so I have gotten much better at this, but there's definitely pressure of posting every single day, because you'll hear content creators say you have to be consistent, you have to post multiple times a day, this, that, and the other thing, and sometimes it's just not realistic. And just like everybody else, you need days off, so sometimes that can be exhausting. So reminding yourself that you don't have to post every single day, and you don't need to force content if it's not something that you feel passionate about to post on social media. The next thing is I have a hard time disconnecting myself on social media. Like I said, kind of going along with the other two things, it can be very difficult of, okay, I'm in this setting, I'm watching a TV show, I'm laying on my couch, I'm watching YouTube, I'm at my friend's house. Get off of your phone, stop scrolling, stop commenting, stop editing things to be able to post tomorrow or the next day. It can be very difficult to remove yourself. It is not something that I make a lot of money off of right now. I am monetized. I do make some money off of it, but it is not my full-time career. So I don't need to feel obligated to it 24/7. But regardless, there has to be times where you step back and you tell yourself, this is a time where I can just be present in the moment, put my phone down, put it away, check social media as just a consumer, and scroll mindlessly instead of worrying about, oh, that's a really good idea, I can use that for my next video idea. constantly being like a content creator mindset, sometimes just enjoy social media as like a mindless form of entertainment and just scroll. So sometimes I have a really hard time disconnecting myself and reminding myself this is supposed to be something that is also fun and not necessarily always taxing and feel like work. The next thing that can be a con is that I see what other people are doing that are pretty popular as content creators, as influencers, and I want to do the same thing. It's a constant comparison. If you see somebody doing some type of video, some type of format of content creation, and they're doing really, really well on it, you're like, should I mimic that? Should I try to do that same thing? Should I talk about those same things? Should I make my videos look like that or my posts look like that? I think it can be really easy to compare yourself to other content creators when you're in this space, because people who are popular, you want to kind of mold your page to look like them at first because you want your page to do well as well, you know? And so it's super easy to be like, okay, that person's really successful. What have they done that I can replicate? And I think one of the most important things that I've learned is the best way to be successful as a content creator is to be yourself. That person is successful doing that because they're doing it. So if I try to replicate that, I will not be as successful as they are because it's not my thing, it's their thing. I can create my own thing, or I can do a combination of multiple different things as long as it looks and sounds like me. As soon as it looks and sounds like somebody else, that's not a true and genuine and authentic page, and that's something that I really pride myself in. So it's really easy to get into the habit of like, oh wow, this person posted this and they did really, really well. Let me try that. You have to remember, okay, that's their page, that's their content. It did really, really well for them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the right fit for me. How can I post meaningful content that I am proud of and that I think my consumers like to enjoy? And for me personally, I tend to create content that I enjoy consuming. For example, I've really started doing these mic'd up workouts. I have love seeing mic'd up workouts, mic'd out vlogs on social media, and so I started creating them and I have loved the outcome, and you guys have loved the outcome. So because it was genuine and authentic, it got a good response. Where if I was doing it just because other people were doing it and they were successful with it, I don't think it would have been as successful. My intentions weren't as pure then. The next part that can be a con is you see everybody going full-time on social media, and I often think to myself, I would absolutely love to go full-time on social media, but how is that possible? How can I get myself to a space where I am making a full-time salary off of social media, off of TikTok, off of Instagram, off of YouTube, that I could quit my full-time job? I don't know the answer to that, honestly, and that's something that is a big con for me right now. Is I put a lot of time and effort into the content I put out on social media. I spend a lot of time editing, I spend a lot of time filming, and I'm not making a ton of money off of it right now. It is this huge passion of mine, and it is something that one day I would absolutely love to be able to monetize, but right now I'm not. And to be honest with you, that can get really difficult because I am doing like multiple different things at one time. I am working my 12, 13 hours at my full-time job, and in the little breaks editing content. And then I get home, and because I didn't post anything because I was at work all day, I'm editing content. And so because I want so badly for it to become a full-time thing, it can get very difficult and very time consuming because you're like, okay, well, one day it'll be worth it. One day it'll be worth it. And it will. I believe that in my heart. But right now it's just like, okay, it's not my full-time job. I'm putting so much effort into it. I'm never giving myself time to relax. It can just be this constant battle of how do I manage my full-time job? How do I manage social media and being a good content creator and putting out valuable information, but also having a social life and getting to enjoy time with my husband and just having fun and relaxing. And sometimes that can be super, super difficult. So that's probably my biggest con for me, is like, how do you manage it all? And how do you know when the right time is to kind of leave your full-time job and take this full-time? And for me personally, until I match what I'm making at my full-time job, I can't justify leaving it. And so that's very difficult because right now I'm kind of doing both, and I would love eventually to be able to leave my full-time job and do social media full-time. But for now, I am doing both, and I've loved every second of it. But of course, that can be very time-consuming and very exhausting. The last con is I question myself constantly. I am constantly questioning the content that I put out there. There could be something that I am super, super proud of, but if it doesn't get as many likes, if it doesn't get as many views as I thought it was going to, I'll be like, oh, was that not as good as I thought it was going to be? Was that not as quality as I thought it was? I was really proud of that editing. I was really proud of this concept. And then when it doesn't get as good of views or as many likes as you thought it was going to, you kind of inevitably question yourself because of it, and you question, like, do I deserve to be in this space? Am I putting out content that's worth it? Is it even worth my time? If I'm not getting the likes and the views that I want, is it even worth my time and my effort and my energy? And sometimes that's really nerve-wracking to have those thoughts in your brain, because I love putting content out there on social media, but I question myself a lot of, okay, I thought this was going to be really good. It wasn't. Now what do I do? How do I move on from here? So for me, one of the biggest cons is just that constant self-doubt of, okay, this didn't work out the way I initially thought. I question myself, and then I'm like, okay, how can I shift this and turn this into a positive and kind of learn from it and grow from it? So for me, those are kind of the cons. Those are the things that, for me personally, I think every person should know, especially if they're going to go into content creation. They should know that these are things that they could be faced with. However, not that we're shocked, but the pros always outweigh the cons. If the pros did not outweigh the cons, I can promise you I would not have been doing it for this long. I can promise you I would not have been sharing my life on social media for over 2 years now. And so I would love to run through all of the cons with you guys. I would love to be able to share all of the amazing reasons why you should start sharing content on social media, why you should start putting your life out there, because there are so many more pros than cons. So first off, it is so amazing to share your life on social media. First off, more than anything else, it is so cool to be able to look back for yourself and look at things that you are posting. Like for me, 2 years ago versus now. I look at the person I was, the content I was posting 2 years ago versus now, and it is so cool how much I've grown, how much I've developed, how much I've evolved, the confidence that I have developed over the past 2 years. And that's something that I don't know if I would have been aware of if I wasn't posting as much on social media. If I didn't see the way I talked to the camera 2 years ago versus the way I talk to the camera now, I don't know if I would have noticed as big of a shift in myself. And so it's so cool to share your life on social media, to document all of those moments and put it out there on social media. It's like a little vlog, a little like documentary of your own life, and that just feels really cool. It's cool watching your own videos from a year ago, being like, oh my god, I forgot I did this. This was an awesome day. It was so much fun, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. Another pro is that it makes you realize you're not alone ever in the feelings or emotions that you're having. And I think that when you put your life out there on social media, when you share your raw and real emotions out there on social media with people, and the response and the feedback that you get back, that so many people experience similar emotions and similar things that you do, and they are so appreciative of the fact that you are sharing these things, you are sharing that you also feel the same way, and that now because you shared, they don't feel as much alone. That's a really powerful thing for me. It is amazing that I have the opportunity to make people feel comfortable in the gym, that I have the opportunity to tell people that they're important and they're valued and they're loved, and to remind them of all of these things. It's important to remind people that you are going to have bad days, you are going to have bad workouts, and that if you do, guess what? Me too. If you struggle with these things, I do too. And that is so incredible, to make people feel like they are just a little bit less alone in this world, because sometimes the world can feel big and lonely. If I can help make it a little bit less lonely, that's a huge pro for me of being on social media. The next is, it makes me feel so loved and appreciated. It kind of goes along with what I just said, but the more you put out and you share on social media, the more positive feedback you get back. And while sometimes the negative comments and the negative feedback feels much louder than the positive ones mean so much to me, because somebody took the time out of their day to thank you, or to comment on how good you look, or how strong you look, or the fact that they did one of your workouts and they loved it, or the fact that they really needed to hear that post today, they really needed to hear that rant about this, that, or the other thing that day. It just makes you realize how important and valuable you are, and it also makes you realize that you have the power to impact somebody, and that is such an amazing feeling for me. If I can impact one person's life, if I can make one person feel less alone, or give one person a good workout, or make one person feel more comfortable in the gym, then all of this is worth it for me personally. I also just love putting content out there. I love putting content out that I am proud of. That's a huge pro for me. I know that I said that I I often question myself when I put content out there that I'm proud of and it doesn't do as good as I thought. But there is something so amazing about working your butt off on something, working your butt off on a post, a video, a TikTok, a YouTube video, and you just are so proud of the finished product because you worked your heart and soul into that thing. There is just something so amazing and so special about that. And I think that's so important because I am so proud of myself every single time I post something, every single time I post a video, I post an Instagram. I am so proud of myself. I am genuinely, now more than ever, putting content out there that I am proud of and that I enjoy and that I would want to consume. And I think that's so important. In the beginning, I thought it was so important to just post every single day, no matter what, type up a caption, this, that, and the other thing. Come from the heart, be authentic, but post whatever as long as you're posting. Now it is so important for me to post good quality content that I would want to consume. Whether it gets a million views or 10 views, I want to post content that I am proud of. And there is just something so amazing about putting content out there that I enjoy and that I'm proud of. And then last but certainly not least, it has allowed me to romanticize the little things in life because I am constantly filming. I'm constantly filming the little things. I'm constantly filming moments. It allows me to be myself. It allows me to be goofy. It allows me to share my true and most authentic self with the world, no matter what setting I'm in, whether I'm in the gym, whether I'm here at home, whether I'm dancing in the parking lot, whatever the case may be. It has allowed me to romanticize things like grabbing Starbucks or going for a walk, things that I probably would have overlooked before. Because I'm filming it, I have found just so much joy in the little things in life, and I don't know if I would have done that if it wasn't for social media. And I know that's crazy to say, but it just helped me to romanticize every single thing, every part of every day. Even if it's a long 13-hour day at work, if I'm filming it, if I am there, it's like, wow, look at these funny moments, look at these laughs, look at all this, that, and the other thing. And that is so special and so important, and I am just so grateful for social media for that. It's allowed me to just realize how amazing the world is, how amazing my life is, because when I share it, like, yes, there's bad parts, but you know what, it's good being able to look back on those bad parts as well and be like, look at me, I overcame that. So for me, it's really amazing to be able to just kind of document my whole life and share it with the world. Alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope you guys found this video helpful or insightful. I remember when I first started putting myself out there on social media, I was so nervous about being judged. I was so nervous about losing friends. I was so nervous about losing followers that it really prevented me for a super long period of time from wanting to do it. And honestly, if you take one piece of advice out of this video, it's just to please start. Please start putting anything that you want out there on social media, however the case may be for you. Share whatever you want on social media. I don't think you need to create a whole separate page for it. If you want to, go for it. That's amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. I combined everything into one page, my page, because it is me. It encompasses all aspects of me. Working out in the gym all day, every day, that's me. Going out on the weekends with my friends and dressing up, that's also me. Going to yoga, getting Starbucks, that's me. And it's been amazing to share every aspect of my life with you guys for almost 2.5 years. It's just been such an amazing feeling. So if you get nothing else, please just start. You have no idea the amount of people that you are going to impact. You have no idea the amazing things that could come from it. So take the leap. You can always stop. You can always stop sharing and go back to your regular pages, but why not take a jump? Take a leap of faith. I never in a million years thought that 2 years later I would be sharing so much of my life on social media. I would have the platforms that I have. I would have the amazing community built around me that I have, and I'm so appreciative of that. So please just remember that this is your page, and the people who love you are going to love you no matter what. Whether you're posting all of your personal stuff, whether you're posting your interior design stuff, whether you're posting your fitness stuff, whether you're posting whatever you want, they're going to follow you because they love and support you. You're going to build a community of people who love and support you because of you being you. And if people don't, then that's okay. We can peacefully let them go on their own way, but you are valuable and you are needed in this space just like everybody else is. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I hope it does shed some light on the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there is pros and cons to posting your life out there on social media, and I think it's so important to be aware of all of them before you kind of jump in head first, because it can be difficult. It can be challenging. It can be emotionally, mentally, and physically draining. But I genuinely believe the pros always outweigh the cons, and I hope that you guys see that as well. So if you guys like this video, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You all already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss the video that I post. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on my Instagram so you can see the fitness, health, and lifestyle content that I post on there, and I will catch you guys here next time.